for the Hives in that show. But I forget what other bill they were on, somewhere around 2003-ish. And they were one of those nouveau garage bands out of Brooklyn, I think. And just had a phenomenal energy. And there was a point in the show where the guitarist and the singer both climbed the light towers on either side of the stage and were playing basically at the ceiling, which of course you're not supposed to do because no one should ever climb the light towers on Metro. It says so right on them. And they never missed a beat. I mean, the guitarist was like basically swinging from the literal rafters, and yet the show went on. And that was kind of the energy that band had. The singer was like very Bowser and Sean kind of persona. A bit of a greaser, a little larger than life, mouth a little bigger than it really should have for his head.
It was always hard to shoot the lighting, so every time I shot the lighting was horrible. And I think they got back together recently. I'm trying to think of, I mean, more with me, it was bands I was told to go shoot that I'd never heard of, like Soul Coughing was a good example. It was a band that I had, did it 11, I think you cut that one. You cut it.
You sure?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, she does that.
Soul Coughing is just one of those bands that I was asked to shoot and I said okay, and I just loved them. And I only had one or two really good shots, but the one shot I had was really happy with. And you know, and as time goes on too, you know, the thing about our job is, you know, like you had said, we don't pay to go to shows, so it's easy to leave. We have no commitment. You know, it's like we have no monetary or any commitment. And there's certain, every once in a while, one of those bands that will surprise you. Soul Coughing was one of those bands where just his phrasing, his delivery was just so much fun. And yeah, I had a great time. One other show at Metro, which I thought was funny, I mean, he was already big, obviously, was Iggy Pop. Iggy Pop played like a residency of 3 nights or something like that. Shot the first night. Within the first 30 seconds of the first song, he's trying to knock the monitors onto the security guard's head. Were you at that?
I didn't feel that he was trying.
No, he was. He literally was, right. He wasn't trying. He was trying to crush them.
And kill them. My impression was that he had so much energy he was just bouncing off them. He looked a little surprised when it actually fell.
And all I kept thinking of, he's got 2 more shows to go through. His security is not going to put up with this. That's what I get. It's like, wow.
And he did knock it over him. They did have to take one of the security guys out. He was kind of holding his head. And from the balcony, I don't know if you can see this from the pit, but there was a point where like his stage manager showed up on the side of the stage and was like, he's okay. He actually looked a little relieved. Like, I didn't actually mean to hurt the guy. I mean, I think he was probably in his 50s by this point.
It was fun. I mean, I've always had a fun time shooting him. I mean, I remember one time he's swinging the mic, he knocks the microphone, standing in the pit, and just grabbing it. It's just, you know, like, should I shoot that or should I stop?
Yeah, well, the Crystal Castles one definitely that I mentioned earlier, and there's been a few shows in Chicago overall where there's definitely more people for the opening band, and like I saw a fall show in the bottle where everyone was there for TV on the radio opening up, and it was when TV on the radio just had a single, and they all left. And I was like, you guys should have stayed for the ball. It was, you know, a $20 ticket at least. And I was at Shoeless not too long ago, kind of in 2007, maybe 2008, and everybody left after the opener who was the king. And legally. And I was there for over and stayed for over because I liked her better now still. But as a music fan, it's just kind of odd because
a guy with a guitar playing a crappy light. Like, I'm not going to get anything different. He's not going to do anything different. And it was hot, it was late, and I was tired. I went home. So I left, and he's like, I'm sorry I sucked. What, did I smell bad? Be professional.
Yeah, what do you say to that? Maybe.
Yeah, I was like, at this point, you're heckling the audience. That's just not a good position to be in. Like, your career is not going well.
Kind of a leading question because of that. Have you ever had times when musicians have seen you photographing and either commented directly during the show or after the show?
That's a good question.
In some fashion.
Have seen.
Has the musician seen you as a photographer doing your job and commented on it in some way, either during the show or in some physical way or verbal way?
At the Metro show, actually. 30 Seconds a Month. I was asked to, that was their first album, it was a record release party. So the publicist asked me if I would go to it. And 30 Seconds to Mars, maybe it was the singer, the actor.
Yes,
Jared Leto. All right, that guy. And so before that, they did a signing there because it was a record release party, and they didn't sign their names. They all had symbols for their signature, which already I hate them. And I went because of Jared Leto. I mean, I was like, all right, I'll go to this. I don't remember what song I was in. It was within the first 3 songs. During one of the songs, Jared Leto looked at me and went, no more taking photos. It's like, I guess I'm done. All right. So I've had that. This wasn't during the show, it was during an interview. Echo and the Bunnyman. Echo and the Bunnyman, I had a love-hate relationship with Ian McCulloch, and it's always been at the Metro. Whether it's the lighting or whatever. And one year we were shooting interviews with him, and we show up and we had to wait for an hour and a half because he was still sleeping. It's like 2:30 in the afternoon, which is whatever. I mean, they're touring, I guess. And so we're doing the interview and everything. And during the interview, you know, I'm taking stills and everything, and he's answering a question. And then he looks at me and goes, "You going to be doing this all through the interview?" And I said, I don't have to. And then he kept answering the question, and I just left. Like, oh, I hate it.
Yeah, I'm trying to think that I haven't had a lot of antagonism. You know, I just kind of feel, I feel more, maybe it's because I'm a girl,
I
but,
was thinking the Magnetic Fields show.
oh yeah, that's right, okay, well.
Oh, it was a lead-in for you. Good.
That wasn't a picture, but
No.
that was nerve-wracking. The last time I shot them at the Big, it was okay.
This was Magnetic Fields.
Yeah. Last time I shot them at the Vic, I was the only photographer there, and they had a photo pit, which is weird because the Vic is another one of those places where sometimes they have a photo pit, sometimes they don't have a photo pit. Usually more often than not, but you have to go early just to make sure. And I got there, and there was a photo pit, and I was the only one in it. And the second night that they played, I wasn't photographing. I just, bought tickets as a fan. And there were 3 photographers, which is really good. But when I saw them at Old Town School of Folk Music, it was like 2008, I believe, and they were doing like a 5-night stint. And Claudia Gonson turned to me after literally like 4 clicks, and they were only allowed to play the first song. And she was like, it's only one song, right? And I was like, and I guess the thing is that bands are kind of dumb because they don't realize that in that one song, if you're forcing me to get all of the shots that I need to possibly get, then it's going to be louder for the shutter clicking. Whereas if you tell me 3 songs, then I can at least spread out a little more.
You can wait for a moment.
Flash, yeah. I
Try to
wasn't
force
using
it.
flash. I wasn't doing anything like that. And it was a disaster. But I do feel like bands more or less are nice to me usually. I was remembering this time when I shot Brazilian Girls of Love. That was in 2009, I think. And the lead singer is very photogenic. She had a umbrella. She had the parasol that matched with her white gown. She was, working it. No, she wasn't wearing a mask. Yeah. And you know, she's also a little bit seductive on stage and wears undergarments or no undergarments that are, yeah. So that there's a lot of photographers that get in with it. And as she was leaving, she was like, "Goodbye, photographers, goodbye." It was just like, you know, it was really cute.
Tori Amos, and I haven't shot it recently, but like in the 2000s, earlier 2000s, she stopped letting us shoot her during her show. We would be, right? We would be invited to her sound check. So so she'd come out dressed how she's been dressed. So we'd show up, we'd show up and we'd shoot whatever, 2 songs or 3 songs or whatever. And I remember
It was like police spots.
with Millennium Park.
Yeah.
This one, yeah, I did it one before too. But Millennium Park is a funny one because she's talking to us while she's playing and performing. It's like, all right, I think I'm going to go this way a little bit now. And you look at the photos and you go like, it's so fake. Well, it doesn't look fake at all. That's the crazy thing. It looks so real and in the moment. It's such a mind fuck.
And she's trying to do like, basically here are the 7 poses that I know I will do at some point during the show. I'm going to do them all in a minute and a half while you're shooting. She did that one thing where it's like, I'm going to play 2 pianos at once.
And she's saying that as she's singing, okay, now we're going to do this. I'll do this one more time. Get this.
Did everybody get that? Okay.
And she'd walk in and go, hello photographers, and all. It was just so, I walked out going, that was awesome, but, or the weirdest shit I've ever experienced. That was so weird.
I was shooting in Dublin